Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight on the 8th of January, the weekly FM show. We have myself and Ben. Ryan is due to join us, but he's got internet issues. I think we're going to get James on just to keep us company tonight, Ben.
Yep, same.
We're going to just sit back tonight and just have a bit of a chat about how we're doing on FM, what we're up to at the minute. We'll talk a bit database with James. He can explain to us how it's going with his editing of the Football Manager WizKids database. How One thing I want to ask, because people who do listen to the show quite a lot will know that Ben's been in Romania. I think since you were last on, I think you were still in Romania when you were last on, Ben.
Yeah, things have changed a bit there. I left Astra after the end of the first season. Yeah, it took me that long to play one season, mind. Um, Basically, I issued them an ultimatum because they weren't giving me any transfer funds. And my ambition whenever I play Football Manager is always to kind of build from within, from the youth structure. And there is literally nothing in Astra. They didn't even have a single player in the youth team. So I tried to persuade the board to go ahead and give me some resources to get the youth system off the ground, but they were having none of it. So after I issued my ultimatum, they basically said, we want you to quit. Otherwise, we're going to fire you. So I quit. Fair enough. And then I was unemployed for a while, and I tried for a few jobs, and everybody laughed me off, which was kind of depressing. But eventually, I got a job with Crew, who were looking to battle relegation. They were 18th when I joined in December, and they finished the season in, yes, it was 7th. I missed out on the playoffs on goal difference on the final day, which was really downheartening. But hey, it's all part of the progress. When they were expected to get battling for relegation and they ended up just outside the playoffs, then the board were really happy, and I've got a good foundation to build from there because they've got some absolutely amazing youth players already, and the system's already set up, so I'm good to go to just build them really. To be honest, I should have gone back and started with Crew because I had an amazing save with Crew in Football Manager 14, and they're a good team. I like playing with them.
Yeah, they are good. They are good team. They've got such an amazing youth system, and I know a friend of mine on YouTube, Fox in the Box, he's doing the youth crew where he's only signing youth players, and it's going amazing. So I see Jake's listening. Cheers, listening, Jake. And James has joined us. Hello, James.
Can you hear me?
Evening.
Yeah, I can hear you all right, Ben.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for coming on, James, with what was it, about 15 seconds notice?
Yep.
Do you want to give us an insight of how your day has been? We know there's been a lot of transfer activity.
Yeah, the database has taken me about an hour and a half today to keep up to date with, and there's a lot of transfers happening. I mean, when you tell people 100, 150 transfers have happened today, they say how and why, and they ask for what. But bear in mind, I'm covering the world, not just England and Scotland here. So there's a lot being done. A lot of loans being ended, being extended, a lot of contracts being lengthened to the end of the season or cut short. Obviously, player transfers and a lot is going on. So I've been doing a lot of work in the last day or so.
Well, I think people who listen to this show, if you do download custom database, obviously download the WizKids one. It is the best one around. And I'm sure as people know, or as people might not know, if James moves, for example, Victor Valdez to United, he doesn't just click Valdez United. He has to edit the contract and has to edit all the details, which means he has to research how much the person's on, for example.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of detail into it. As you say, it's not just click to Manchester United. You click the length. Like Valdez's contract is 18 months, but obviously you start in like July, so you have to give him a 2-year contract from the start of the game, and then in his real contract, he's got a 1-year option extension, which I've put in if he plays 30 appearances for Man United, or any amount. I can set it. He will get an automatic 1-year extension onto that, and then I also go into fine details such as the squad number. I'm quite geeky when it comes to that sort of stuff.
No, it's good though. It's good. I mean, you don't want to be turning on. I mean, I like the fact that obviously me and you communicate a little bit about Scandinavia, and there's going to be a bit more on that as well because I'm quite geeky where I will not play in Norway, for example, now unless I'm using a database which has been updated like yours has. And I was going to do a save in Sweden, but I think we need to get the low leagues in Sweden changed on your database. So that's going to hopefully be done for the next release, James.
Yeah, I mean, the more stuff, the better. It attracts more people. I mean, we can only tell where our fans come from the Facebook page, and
yeah.
we do actually have a lot of fans from Scandinavia, I believe.
Well, I think, as far as I know, yours is one of the few. I know the Norwegian website's done one, but they've only updated Norway. Where obviously you've updated Iceland, Sweden, Finland. So the top two divisions in all of them, all the way down in Norway. So it's fantastic to get done, and it is a lot of work. I know Ben's working on the FMC teams at the minute, Ben, aren't you? I mean, do you want to explain to James what's happening on that? Because he might not have seen it all.
Oh yeah, well, it's not quite as extensive as looking all around the world for transfers, but it's just kind of putting together like a Football Manager team for the players who details based on players who are in the FMC group, and we're going to make 4 clubs. It was originally going to be 1, but we were massively oversubscribed, to say the least. It ended up with 160 players, so it's just kind of gone from there, really. Just trying to set it all up in the database, and I've had some experience with the database, so I know it's with the data editor. Sorry, so I know it's a lot of hard work when you get into the nitty gritty of it, especially if you have a perfectionist personality, which you seem to, James. So I know it from experience that it's a lot of work. So credit to you for what you do. There's some really worthwhile thing. I know it's not for everyone to have data updates, but it's interesting just to look at the original vanilla data now, only a few months after the season started, and just see how utterly redundant most of it is now. It's amazing how quickly these things change.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing databases for a long time, pretty much since the editor was available to use. So even before the Football Manager WizKids and I was around the community, I've been doing it long before then, because I just like to have my own game bang up to date. So now that we are in the community, we just share it with everyone, and the facts are there to see. We have way over 300,000 downloads from FM12 to now FM15. And since the FM15 got released, I've spent 57 hours on the editor, so that tells you how much work gets put into it.
This is a long time. It's a long time spent doing it, especially so short as well, because obviously the transfer window's only just started. Officially, so you've only been editing the odd things. So 57 hours. Imagine what's going to be by the end of January.
I just can't believe there's been 150 transfers today. That, I mean, loans included, but still, that's amazing. I've only been aware of about 5.
Well, that's what I mean. It's covering everywhere. It's not just. I've got that many websites I check at least once a day. If I'm working, I'm checking it late at night. If I'm not working, I'm checking it twice a day, because it's updated all the time, and it's the cover transfers from different areas of the world.
Well, no, well, you say you've got websites, but as Jake's pointed out on the side, you're lucky to have a friend like him, because he tags you in all the transfers. So let's be honest, James, the reason you're so successful is because of Jake.
Yeah.
Mr. Zulu's on, Chiefs listening pal, obviously he's come on repaying the favour after I made him some kits for his Stockport save earlier. And Lewis Steele's on, there's a name I haven't seen for a few weeks. I was just trying to think what I was going to say something about databases. I can't remember what it was now. Kind of been important, lads. What save are you currently on with, James? Do you want to just talk about your Blythe one? Explain where people can see it?
It's pretty much my first real Football Manager 15 save, to be honest. I've had a mess about with Newcastle, but never really got far. So this is my first proper save, where I'm 2 games from the end of season 2, and I'm unfortunately...
Don't give it away.
Yeah, I won't give it away. But the first season I finished 11th after being in the top 6 the whole season, and it was so tight that I finished 5 or 6 places below where I should have, and it was very disappointing. And I was lucky to keep my job on 2 occasions. I just managed to pick up a couple of wins after I got a board interview, so I'm still on the job in the game. So this is my long-term plan. I never play a team this low down. I'm usually the Vanarama, but not this low down. So I'm trying to take them to the very top. And it doesn't matter how many times it takes me to get promoted or move up the leagues, I will stay with this team to get them to the top.
It's really rewarding to do that. I really enjoy doing that. I didn't really do it before Football Manager 14. I used to do the whole start with a massive club, build a reputation, and then just pick and choose a job. But I've really gone for like a complete change in direction and just gone for the lowest ranking one I could find. And it's so worthwhile to build it up. You just feel so good when you do it. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, it's obviously as people know, I'm doing the Salford save with the special one, which is getting good reviews. And it's belting across through the website at the minute views wise. I'm really impressed with the fact it's catching up some of the top views on the website since FM15's come out already. I'm enjoying writing, and this save it's rewarding. I'm up in the Conference North now, 2 straight promotions. People who haven't watched it, the class of '92 have left. I think James scared them off. What I would say is James mentioned Maguire for yourself, James. The striker. He's freaking scored. He scored against me every time I played Blythe.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, the first season for me, he scored 31 goals in 54 games, and he started every single game possible. Now he's in the second season so far. He's fell just a little bit short of that. He's in the mid-20s for his goals, but he's added about 15 assists to his game, so he's become a more all-round player, and his strike partner has stepped up a bit more from last season.
Absolutely, he destroyed me every single time. Honestly, James, if it's a good job you were offline at the time because I was cursing you all over. Because you were building him up to me. Sorry, it wasn't to me. For some reason, I keep thinking you're talking to me, and I've been watching your stream because I watched your second, not the first one, the second one. I've watched that twice now because I went back, like just to see what plays you had and stuff.
Yeah.
And a couple of your players who you were praising absolutely destroyed me in one of the games. So definitely some of the Blythe players, there's some good talent there.
Yeah, I mean, that Dan Maguire, you got to remember, if people are playing this slow down, you're not going to get big, massive stats. Now, he's shown to me that he's a goal machine, scoring 50-plus goals in 2 seasons and getting, say, 25, 30 assists. Bear in mind, his finishing is only 10. So if I'm signing a striker in that low of a league, if he's got 10-plus finishing, there's a good chance I'm going to take a chance on him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know I've been, I wouldn't say helping Jay, because Jay's doing really well on his low stuff save, but he's been posting a lot of screenshots in the chat group we have with Alex, one of the former admins, and he's constantly posting. He's not used to managing this far down. He's sometimes looking at people, is this guy good? Some of them are shocking, mind. But yeah, there's a core set of stats to look for, I find, when you're low down. And I kind of limit it. I don't know about yourself, James, but I limit it to my strikers are literally finishing, composure, and pace. But mainly just finishing and composure. Then I can kind of pick and choose after that. I don't know about yourself. Do you look a lot more detailed than that?
Well, determination is usually always.
Oh, sorry, determination. I kind of class that as a must. Yeah.
For me, in the higher leagues, determination is a must, but at lower leagues, I don't really look at that. For me, it doesn't affect me that much. For me, in the lower leagues, I'm looking at pace and finishing, and of course composure, because this low down, no matter what you do, I believe you're going to concede goals. It doesn't matter who you've got in the back. If they're the best in the league, I believe you're always going to concede goals this low down until at least you turn professional. So yeah, strikers, I look for 10 finishing, and I think that's pretty good for that level.
Yeah, I think well, yeah, like I said, I mean, I've got Danny Webber playing for myself at the minute. He hasn't got the most amazing finishing, but his mentals are fantastic. Obviously, with him being used to play quite high up, and he's doing decent. But yeah, anything 10 and above, because if you think 10's average, isn't it? So I mean, quite a lot of League 1, League 2 players, they'll only have 10 finishing. A lot of Premier League strikers only have maybe 12.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 4 regens in my team. One came through the first lot of players. I only signed 1, and the one that's not long gone by, I've signed 3. Now, on each video, which I'm going to do the next one after this, I keep trying to explain to people, you're playing that low down. When they look at them, say they're playing as a Premier League team or Championship team, they're going to look at him and think, no chance, I would never sign him, ever, he's not good enough. But when you're playing this low down, you've got to take almost everything into consideration. 4 or 5 decent stats is going to go a long way that low down. Bear in mind they're only 15, 16 and 16. So
Yeah.
I will be showing them later, but I keep trying to explain, that low down, you don't need to have every stat as high as possible, because if that was the case, you would turn them down every time.
Well, you'll find a lot of, for example, the defensive midfielder. A lot of defensive midfielders this far down might only have 1 and 2 for maybe crossing and finishing. I have a defensive midfielder who's absolutely rock solid with tackling, passing, first touch. But what a lot of people, a good tip is, you'll find the difference between top quality players and the lower league is the mental stats. Quite a lot of the time, the passing, etc., is almost as good at times. But the issue is normally the mental stats, the composure, the decisions, etc. That's what makes the difference between the top and the bottom, basically. I have just seen Ryan's joined us. Can you hear us, Ryan?
Can hear you, yep.
Oh, fantastic. Do you want to tell us who you're playing as at the minute?
At the minute, I'm still on my journeyman save. I'm at Hereford at the moment, top of the league, and only lost 1 so far. Not got to January yet, but still undefeated, and times are looking like they're turning, and hopefully I don't get sacked this time.
What year are you in now?
2022.
Ah, fantastic. And those people will see if they go to it on the website. In fact, I will bring it up. You will see that he has completely changed the menu, the
index.
the index. Sorry, yeah. Slow more. Look at the size of that scroll bar. It's a lot more easy to navigate, isn't it? You can see the different clubs you managed as well. So, I mean, you can see that he's been through a few, Ryan, to say the least.
I remember some of these names.
Yeah.
You remember them when FM16 comes out, he'll still be trying to get to United. Just looking down the side, Anonymous are back. Nice to them, at least we're getting some views. Mr. Zulu, I'm doing that with Stockport and it's my best ever. Yep. If you haven't followed it, go and follow on YouTube. Know that if we ask nicely, he'll post the link in the side for people just to go and give him a follow. Great save, great series. But Ben, do you want to just have a bit of a chat and more about if you've found anything else out about fitness and training, etc., since you did the post?
Nothing specific on that, but I wanted to go back to what you guys were saying earlier about the ratings lower down.
Okay.
Neither of you mentioned the teamwork and work rate, because that's so important for me. Maybe it's just the way I play, but I find those two mental attributes just to be absolutely crucial for my team, and passing as well. I love a passing game, yeah, at any level.
Yeah, talking about a passing game, I forgot earlier today to take a screenshot of a game I played. Obviously, bear in mind I'm Salford. At the time, I was in level 7, and my team completed over 900 passes with an 86% passing success.
Nice.
I couldn't believe how good we played, and we got beat 1-0. We'll forget about that. That happens a lot at the minute. Tune in for the next episode and you'll find out. But yeah, it's not going too well finishing games off at the minute. And again, it's because the mental stats. That's the issue. So far down, sometimes you'll get a player you think's really good. His mental stats aren't as good as you'd hoped, and he's just not performing because of it.
And at the other end of the scale, you get players whose stats look appalling, and all of a sudden they're banging in hat tricks every now and again, and you're like, where the hell has this come from?
Yeah, I've got that. I've got a young striker. They say he's only a 1-star potential, and he scored 2 in his first 2 games for me so far. So I like him. 1 second, Ryan, can you see the comments on the side?
I can, yep.
Do you want to just read it out?
Yeah, Lewis has said he took Hyde to League One and then he got bankrupt. His best player was Marcus Ra, if anyone's heard of him. I've not heard of him. I don't know if anybody else has.
Nope.
No, James?
Pardon?
Sorry, don't mind James. Come back to sleep. Best reply ever, James. What I'll tell you what is upsetting. I know Martin, James. I'm sure you will just talk about Twitch and everything for a second. Martin's had a lot of difficulty today, so if people are Twitch experts who are listening,
No, he's literally 2 seconds ago just got it working.
yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, we're going to actually have a party to celebrate after the show.
That's why I had no idea what you said, because I was talking to him.
Oh, there we go. He had me on Hangout just before this started. But yeah, there's been a lot going on recently. Like I say, we live stream on Twitch now. Well, I do. Ryan might come on and say hello a couple of times. If I can work it out with multi-microphone people. Oh, Martin's listening here as well. It's a nice reply. Git. It must be short for give it time. That's what I can assume.
Wishful thinking.
I'm just trying to work out if we've got anything new on the website this week. We've kind of just decided to talk FMC and talk about what we're up to at the minute tonight. Ryan, do you have anything planned? I know you've been trying to get us some more skins on the website. Has anything come of that yet?
No, I keep sending messages out, but I'm assuming the people that are making skins are either making them even better, so we're missing out on their original skins and they're not just getting back to me, or they're just completely ignoring me and being rude.
Well,
Hopefully we can get a few on the website. There's a few that we want on there. I know Paul wants a specific one on there, and I'm just waiting for replies.
I have got a feeling that we can name it. There's no way about that. I can assume that I think Stelco. I can't pronounce it. We can name it, but I can't. I think it's exclusive to Sorted Out C, because the other websites who are linking it all link straight to the Steam Workshop, not to a specific download.
I've been using Steclo for a long time now, and that's the only place I've ever been able to get it.
Yeah, you send me over to it. I used it on FM14 at one point, but I love it now this year again. It's awesome.
It's so good. I mean, I never used to use skins because they stopped making my favourite ever one, which was from 2005, called Flex. So I stopped using skins.
I remember that one.
And then I did use one other one, but since I've seen Steclo, I just don't use any other ones now.
Cheers for plugging someone our website, James. James, I don't use any of that crap. I just go and get Stelco. But yeah, I do think it's exclusive there because the other websites have got it now, I've noticed. But like I say, they just link into the Steam Workshop download, which I think is just a kind of get out a free pass to have it on the website, which I don't want to do. I want to try to get people to want it on our website. So yeah.
You could tell them about the new page.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, Ben disappeared. Ryan, did you upset Ben?
Obviously I upset Ben.
I told you not to say them things to him. Jake said he only listens to Twitch streams for the singing. You definitely won't be listening to Martin then. Jesus, you'll end up burning your ears. Martin's also asked if he can plug his stream tomorrow night. No, you can't because I'm streaming tomorrow night. But yeah, sure. James can direct link you to come in if he wants. Then you can give it a plug. But yeah, what James was just saying there, we've set up a new page on Facebook. It's called Football Manager Hints Plus Tips. And all we'll be doing is posting hints and tips, as it says. You won't be getting any spam or anything, any screenshots or anything. It'll literally just be some hints and tips for when you play Football Manager. So a nice clean page with just a nice page for advice, basically. So go and give it a like. You'll find myself, James, and sometimes Ryan, depending if he's going to be more active or if he's just going to flirt with the ladies like he's been doing for a few days.
Am I acting admin on that page?
Yes, you are. So he doesn't even know he's admin on the page. But yeah, there's Martin's like man said he's going to be streaming tomorrow night on Twitch. Hopefully it's a different time to me so I can check that out as well as my own.
He's got to be in bed for 9:30, so I'm sure it'll be different.
I thought that hopefully he doesn't have the webcam on as well, because obviously if it's that early, my kids will still be awake and they'll be going to bed scared. Oh, Ben's come back. Did Ryan apologise? Lewis and David are having a nice chat in the sidebar. They've obviously upset each other. I just want to go back onto the special one at Salford. My reason behind it, if people haven't heard of it, I'll just load this up. Um, I wanted to do a story on my save, but I wanted it to be something different. I don't know if it's unique. I've seen a couple of things in the past similar, not the same layout. And basically, it's just I've turned up to manage at Salford, and I class myself as the special one. Um, there's nobody out there as good as me, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to be the best manager in the world. And if Salford stick with me, they'll be the best club in the world, basically. And nobody can tell me any different. As far as I'm concerned, I am amazing. Yeah, that's basically me plugging the special one. Martin, can you hear us all right?
I can, yeah.
Look now, if we keep going, lads, we're going to have a bloody community online here. Go on then, mate, have a plug.
Alright, well, yeah, finally, after much trouble, I got Twitch working. It turned out I just had to have Football Manager windowed for it to work. And yeah, I'm going to do a stream tomorrow night. It won't conflict with Paul's. I'll talk to Paul and I'll make sure mine is either before or after his.
Won't
Basically,
be after.
yeah.
You'll be in bed long before.
So basically, yeah, we've put a lot of new content on the page recently, from non-league players to lesser-known wonder kids from around Europe and stuff like that. And yeah, I was the only one who hadn't really done anything this year, so I wanted to do a stream, and I wanted to do a good one at a pivotal point of the season with important matches, so people could actually, because a lot of people think I'm suspiciously good at FM, and it really bothers me. So I want to do a proper stream where people see that on the Whiz Kids we don't cheat, we play legit, and some of us are just good at the game because we've played it for close to 20 years, you know.
I don't know, that Edvard drives me mental. I've never seen someone so good at the game.
He's fantastic, but he puts so much effort. He puts so much effort in, and he doesn't do it overnight. It's not like he, takes control of a team, and he's, like he takes control of, like, Crystal Palace, and he wins the Champions League in the second season. It's not like that. He takes these tiny pub teams, and it might take him 20 seasons, but he gets to the top of the ladder eventually.
On the page, you see basically what we see. One day we'll see Edvard in season 3. A few days later, he's in season 11, and we don't even know about it.
He's like, I've got a surprise for you, lads. Boom, there you go. Champions League winner with some small village in Norway. It's literally just that.
He's really, really good at what he does, and we don't even know the players or the teams that he even does, so he gets very much a lot of appreciation from us anyway, so it's good.
Fantastic. I'd say some of the saves are impressive. There's always going to be some people who say, if you do good, or you're cheating. So you're always going to get that. So it's just worth just ignoring it. But like I say, it's going to be good to get a stream going. I'll definitely watch it.
Good. Well, look, yeah, keep an eye on the Whiz Kids page. I'll post well in advance and let people know when it's starting. And yeah, I hope you all come and join, because I'm actually really, really looking forward to it now. It's hopefully it'll broaden what our Facebook page does. Football Manager Whiz Kids, give it a like. And yeah, that's it really. So I'll leave you to it, lads, because I've got some stuff to do, so I gotta go. But thanks for letting us on, Paul, and I'll talk to you later.
Before you go, Martin, Jakes just wants me to pass over a really important message. He said, "Martin, you're shit."
Alright.
There you go. There's the praise of the highest order.
Well, tell Jake I'd rather be shit than a Newcastle fan, okay?
That's harsh. Get out.
Alright, I'll see you later, lads, okay?
No, I want to quickly eject him. Why is he not letting me do it? There we go, lads. Oh no, hang on. There we go, he's gone. That'll teach him, James, won't it?
Sacrilege.
Right.
Unbelievable. But yeah, what's coming from you, James, on the page at the minute on the WizKids? I know you're doing your streaming with Blythe. Are you posting about it, or?
I'm posting a few screenshots here and there, but after this I'm going to post my Season 2 review, so that'll be on YouTube on the page within about half an hour when I come off of here. And then we're just adding to the not many people know about the notes section on our page, so I posted it earlier. but it takes you to a few things we've got going on. Like we've got a lower league players album from Edvard Save. He's picked out a lot of players, taking pictures from the start and 5-6 years in advance, and I'm adding bits to that as well from what I'm seeing in my lower save. And then Andy's done one where he's done, it's pretty much unknown-ish players, or players with potential to become wonder kids that you don't see people use. They're not common names from around the world. Now, he did this last year and it was very, very successful. Got a lot of downloads and a lot of people used them because you don't hear of them very often. Now, I think next thing we're going to do is, with that potential wonder kid list, I think we're going to create a short list for people to download. So when they open their game, they can just import it, click load, and then the shortlist is all in players, and they can have a look for themselves instead of having to search for them each time.
See, that'd be a good idea because I know I did that on quite a few on FM14 when the website first set up. For example, I made a 25-player shortlist for the conference, and it got quite a few downloads. People enjoyed it, so it is worth doing. But it's maybe worth sticking.
We're just trying to.
Oh, you disappeared. What were you saying, Paul?
I'm saying we're just trying to bring a lot of new content to the page. Like, well, of course we have done that before, but now we're into a new game and we've had it a couple of months now. We thought we'd bring it out, so we brought them to it recently. I've started doing a YouTube series for the first time, so we've had quite a few views on that. I've been going about 10 days or so, got 4 or 5 videos up now, it's had 500 views, so that's okay to start with, and then we'll see about doing another save maybe in a month or two's time, maybe going abroad somewhere else. I think I've got a save in France planned, so hopefully I can do a new one with that, get more confident while streaming and for the video. And then of course we've got Martin doing Twitch as well now, so we've got a lot of new things coming. And of course we started Twitter about 2.5 months ago and we've got about 550 followers on there, so that's slowly growing and we're hoping to have big news coming in January. We're just waiting on a response to that, so
fingers crossed, yeah, on the for a good month.
Can I ask a quick question to James, if that's all right?
Yeah.
James, have you ever considered doing a transfer update, but instead of having them all there at the beginning of the season, they kind of come in as a future transfer on the date they were actually transferred? Have you ever thought about that?
ooh,
What, so everybody's set to join the club on the 5th of January, for example?
Yeah, like on the day they actually signed. Like Victor Valdez would sign for Man United today in the game, as well as, like he did in real life.
I've never actually thought of doing that. I mean, we do obviously do that with future transfers, such as we've got Steven Gerrard joining LA Galaxy, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
I've never actually considered that before in all the years I've actually done this. You know, I mean, it's a bit late now because of how many changes we've done on the database coming up for 10,000. You'd basically have to
do it all again, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not putting another 60 hours into what I've already done.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, from FM16, that could be a great thing to actually do. It means people can't have them players there at the start, and then as soon as the next window comes, try and sell them off. That's a great idea. And
I've never seen a data update that does that. That's
basically a database update which is 100% live to real life, then, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing I'd ask there is, can you do that, James, for managers?
I know, because then a manager would be in charge already. And that's how do you automatically get a manager sacked?
So you're then gonna. But then I would say though, if you set a manager to join another club, would it automatically remove the other manager? If it did that, then you could possibly do it, but
I'm not sure if that would work. Doing like a sort of a pre-contract to join another club as a manager. I'm not sure that would work.
So I mean, it could work for player-wise, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how a database would look if you say all the managers are updated straight away, but the players are set on join on this date. What I would ask James, I did actually wonder today, is what are you doing with Frank Lampard's situation now it's come out that he's actually contracted to Man City?
This is a bizarre one. I haven't read too much into it. I've only really read the headlines, and it's still a bit of a shock, to be honest, that he didn't actually sign for New York. Who do we believe and who do we trust on this?
Well,
It's,
I would go the fact that it's the English Football Association who's come out now.
yeah,
Um,
so what was all the holding the New York top all about? Going to, I think he had a conference as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think.
How could they do that with and try to keep it sort of a secret that he did not sign on the dotted line? I just don't get that. It's crazy.
Well, I know I was watching because I watch. Obviously, I have to stream the football, not living in the UK. I was watching American TV the weekend. I posted about this on our group, and they were saying about how when he was in America signing, he was actually signing for the company, that like owns Man City and owns New York, etc.
Yeah.
And from what they're saying, he signed a contract which bonded him to the parent club, basically, which means he joined Man City. And then because he can't sign for New York officially until he signs an MLS contract, and he can't do that until he moves to the MLS. But it is, like you said, so tips up.
Yeah, he's at City till the end of the season now anyway, so we're basically not going to really know 100% what's going on till he says, or till it gets confirmed, or till the end of the season, and he obviously makes plans to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So basically at the end of the season he can join any team he wants again.
Bizarre situation.
Yeah, he could have, by the sounds of it, he could turn around and go, do you know what, I've changed my mind, I don't want to go.
He might join Stevie G at LA Galaxy.
I think it could, but I assume they'd have to maybe offer a couple of thousand because of this regulations on how many good players he can basically have.
Yeah, I don't think it would work with them having Robbie Keane as well.
Yeah, and Lampard and Gerrard together, that's like the England 2000s problem.
Yeah, don't forget it doesn't work. Back to FM, I'm going to go to Ryan, who I think he's in net still working, or he's fell asleep. You still there, Ryan?
No, I'm here. I've just been
here.
Enjoying reading the comments at the side. It's quite funny.
I'm just ignore them. Don't worry about it. I'm just appreciating the views.
There's a question in there though from Patrick Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I'm just about to read.
That's what I was going to get onto next.
I was going to ask Ryan this. Go on, Ryan. You can read it then. Answer then.
But in layman's terms, he basically says that he gets a computer to hire his coaches and scouts. Basically, everyone that you need hiring for the club, he just gets the computer to do that for him. And does anyone notice any different if the computer's doing it rather than yourself? I think, me personally, I'd rather not let the computer, or it's probably in this sense your assistant who's going to assign the coaches. I'd rather do it myself, especially lower down the leagues, because I've found sometimes I've set the director of football to go and find some coaches because I've not had the experience in the lower leagues, but as I've been in the lower leagues throughout my save for so many years, I've found that I know the sort of stats I'm looking for in a coach and a scout now, so I look for them myself. But especially in the higher levels, you've got to have top quality coaches. And in the lower leagues, when I started it as a director of football, finding the scouts or the coaches, you'd find that they'd just find coaches like they've just plucked someone from out of the park. Oh, you can coach a football team. Come and join us, and they've got like attacking and defensive ability of like 1 and 2, and like they're useless. I'd rather find them myself. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
Oh, same for me. I find that I don't really trust the AI. It's okay, but they often seem to hire staff on reputation rather than actual ability. Because whenever I took over at Crew, the chief scouts judging player ability and potential stats were, I think, 5 out of 20 for both. Well, how the hell did he get the job?
I've never let anybody else hire any coach or scout or physio. I've always done it myself. Obviously, my Magdeburg one I'm doing where I have to apply in the job centre, but obviously I'm still then picking from the people who apply for the job. I'm not just giving it to anybody. I don't think I'd ever let that happen because, like you say, you'd end up finding out that they gave they brought someone in who's got maybe attacking for 1 or 2, for example. Something stupid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I never really trust them. They always seem to get physios right, but they never get scouts or coaches right.
So I wish they could find me a physio at the minute because I need one. But yeah, it's something I've just never looked into. I mean, James, do you ever just let your assistant or whatever hire your coaches?
Oh, never. Always do that myself. But what I do is have my director of football and head of youth development to look for players and make bids.
Yeah.
But they do not give them the contract or sign the player without me looking at the player and clicking accept or reject.
Yeah.
And the reason I do this is because although sometimes they're quite poor and a lot of the time they'll overpay, that 1 in 10 they will pick an absolute diamond up for a lot cheaper than what you would probably get them for, or they pick up a great young regen for very cheap, and then he's done a great bit of work there. So I have that set, but I would never ever let anybody else control what goes on.
I don't think I can't even answer for you, Patrick, my opinion on how it works because I've never done it. So, like I say, Ryan gave a decent answer. I've just never done it, so I cannot help you. Sorry. What's Jake said? He has to sign his own staff, as Ben said. They are awful, and I've just found out my battery's going flat. Fantastic. So, Ryan, I'll let you talk or something while I go and plug the charger in.
Basically, Jake said that exactly the same as Ben said, that the AI approach people with awful stats, which I also found. I think the only thing that I've actually set is when I'm looking for players, especially when I've been going around on my save or going around in other different countries that I had no idea of the players, and I'd set my director of football to go and put bids in for the players, but the contract wouldn't necessarily be accepted. So I could, if they put a bid in, I could look at the player, and some of them I've gone, oh yeah, the director of football has found a good player there. I'll actually sign him up, but I wouldn't have known about him if the director of football hadn't have gone and put a bid in for him. I don't know if has anybody else actually done that.
Yeah, I think James was saying he does that as well. I've done it before. I don't really trust my current director of football, but I have done that in the past when I was at the bigger clubs.
I think it depends on the director of footballer's attributes and the way they are for determination and judging player ability. For that, I think I have one that's quite good for the lower leagues at Hereford, finding some quite good players.
Yeah, it's win-win really, isn't it? Because it's not like they can actually sign them, so you just kind of get to have a quick look at players that your staff seem to think are going to be good. It's worth a look sometimes, isn't it?
Especially down in the lower leagues, they seem to put bids in for a lot of people who are running out of contracts, or people who've been out of contract who have been ex-Premier League players and they've just not been able to find a club, and their player can be willing to... I've just been called cute, how nice. But yeah, I've found some very good players for Hereford, and they're like ex-Premier League, ex-Championship, and it's keeping me up there, and hopefully we'll see some good news in possibly the next few days when I finish the season with Hereford, that I could be getting them back into league football, even though they don't exist in real life and people think that I've cheated. So.
Cheat. It's not a real team.
We'll see.
And one thing I would say, James, do you, with Blythe, do you use your scout and your head of youth and director of football?
Yeah, I always check what they found, even though a lot of them might not be good, but they do.
Well, you must have liked that. He decided to leave. What I would say is, if you check the finance tips on the website, it explains where I explain how you shouldn't use all of them people in low leagues to save money. But yeah, everyone does it different, which that shows it exactly, doesn't it? People suggest not to use it, save money. Other people do use it.
Paul, do you ever do the mutual termination of contracts? Because I find that can be super expensive in the short term. I'm not sure it's worth it in the long term, because I kind of just let their contracts run out.
I'll sometimes do it, depending on how much they want. Obviously, what I'll do is I'll get the calculator open, and I'll calculate how much his wage will cost for the year.
Yeah.
And if he wants less for the mutual termination, then I will do it, because then obviously I can bring in someone better maybe. Player-wise, the only time I ever do a mutual termination is if the players basically cause an unrest in the dressing room. I sometimes just sack them if they're on next to nothing. But I'd like to thank, I've just noticed our time's up, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Obviously the Three Stooges have been back, coincidentally, all together at the same time.
So they all love me.
Yeah, they all love you, which is good. They obviously don't say you need a haircut. Cheers for coming on, Ben.
No
Also,
worries.
James and Martin, and we will see you next week.